Whenever I write a unit test, whether my intention for the test is for it to verify state, function, or behaviour, I find that very similar patterns emerge about how I write these tests for all three different modes of verification. And that it's very useful to actually think about this structure or framework as I write the test, because I think it helps me make more readable and maintainable tests and helps me avoid some of the common anti-patterns. So, right at the top, I have a subject, the subject of the test, and I write it at the top of the class. So it's very clear to everybody what it is in a field, and I call it subject. As well, often I'll have some sort of fixtures. Sometimes you might see them, sometimes you might not. Sometimes the fixtures will be encapsulated within the runner for your framework for the type of test you're doing, if you're lucky. If not, you might have to make some manual fixtures. So, in the setup, I'll set up the fixture, which I'm going to use to help me run the test on the particular subject. Next, after the setup comes exercise. I exercise the subject. What does that mean? Well, I use a fixture to perform certain operations, make method calls, and so on, pass messages of various kinds in various sequences to the subject. I may well also, if I'm using stubs or other parts, actually give and specify some interaction with the environment as part of the exercisement. So, if a particular message, when passed to the subject, results in interrogation of the environment, yes, my fixture may well have to actually specify particular return values to ensure that the subject is exercised in a particular manner. So exercise comes after setup. So what we have in setup is, typically, I'll look to try and get the object in an initial state, the subject in a specific state. Then I exercise the subject using the fixture. Finally, I verify my expectations, whether it be in terms of state, method, return value, or behaviour, but never all three at once. You're far better if you find you want to test all three simply by having identical reusable setup and exercisement code, reuse a fixture, and then just have separate tests, because then you can be very specific and precise and focused about what you're actually testing. So, think about it in that way. I set up a subject into an initial state and a fixture into an initial state. I then exercise the subject using the fixture in some fashion. I then either look at the state of the subject, I measure a return value from a function call, or I go and examine the behaviour, the interaction of the subject with the environment during the exercisement. And that's it.